Hello everybody, it's Linda from Lunchtime with Linda. I'm sorry I have to re-record this message because I know that we had some bad connections, but this is too important for you guys to miss. So I want to make sure that you guys understand what I'm talking about. I hope you enjoy my cafe music in the background. I don't own the rights to any of that music, I'm just playing in the background. But this is called Know Your Position. And what I talked about was knowing your position in your squad. Because see, sometimes we have a team of people and everybody wants to do the same things. And two heads cannot coexist. You have to know your position. And I referred that to the position of NBA basketball. And I said there's 5 positions on the team. And I put on there, there's a point guard, a shooting guard, a small forward, a power forward, and a center. And I said, who's the point guard? Chris Paul, Magic Johnson, Steph Curry, John Stockton, the best ball handlers on the court. Number 2 was the shooting guard. The shooting guard is the most exceptional player on the court. And they dribble the ball up and down the court. And then we have the small forward, like LeBron James, Kevin Durant, Larry Bird, the most versatile players on the court. And then you have the power forward. They rebound, Kevin Love, Tim Duncan. They protect the basket at all times. And then you have the center, the almighty Shaq, Bill Russell, and Wilt Chamberlain. Those people protect the basket. You don't very rarely see them dribble the ball, but their thing is to make sure that nobody gets that ball in the hole on their end. And I have to tell you guys this. There's another position that we're not talking about, but he's also very important. That's to coach the team. He or she, whoever is coaching your team. And that person sees all 5 players in their position and in their glory. And what they need to do is they have to assess what you're good at. Are you the coach? Are you the power forward? Are you the center? What is your position? And the whole thing is you got to stay in your lane. You can't be, Shaq don't do Kobe's job, and Kobe can't do Shaq's job, and Steph Curry don't do other people's job, Kevin Durant's job. That's their job. And everybody knows their position, and you have to know yours. I wrote down 4 things that you have to know, and you have to ask yourself. And the question is, what are you training or working towards? What is your common goal as a team? Number 1, what are your gifts? Number 2, what do you do well? Because your gifts and what you do well could be 2 separate things. And number 3, what are you consistently working at or working on? Number 4, how do you know if it's working or not working? How do you know that? So my thing today is to talk to you about these things. And number 1, there are things that you are trained to do, and there's things that you inherently do just naturally. It doesn't mean it's what you want to do, it's what you're training to do. And number 2, there are things that you're talented at. Like I said, you could be great at numbers, but you do not want to be a CPA. I have a daughter who's really tall, but she doesn't want to play basketball. Everyone sees her say, you want to play basketball? She's like, I don't want to play basketball. And that's just because her height. They see her height. They don't know what her interests are because nobody ever asked you your interests. They just see you and they think that you're supposed to be in this position. But I've learned this. It's really important to ask people, what are your strengths and what are your weaknesses? What do you see yourself in 2 years, 1 year, 5 years, 10 years? It's important to know your team and what your teammates need. Because if we just go along this thing and we just keep assuming people's positions and assuming what they want to do and assuming all these things, we totally miss it. And we miss opportunities for the person to thrive because we're not capitalizing off their gifts. We're not even capitalizing off our own gifts because sometimes as the coach or the head of the team, you miss opportunities when people are telling you, this is what I'm good at, but you never ask. So how do you know where to put them? And you're just basically having a position that you're wasting your time on. You know how people go to work every day, but they hate their jobs? And they go there because it gives them a paycheck. So they exchange their time for money. But what happens when you What happens when you get a person and you ask them some really important questions about what do you like? What do you want to do? Where do you see yourself? That changes the conversation. And see, what that does, it involves the other person. It gives a person opportunity to share with you what they want to do. Because again, all 4 questions are really important and they're not the same. Each one of them carry a different weight. When you tell somebody, I'm naturally good at numbers, but I don't want to do that. That's a gift that they have. Doesn't mean that they want to be the CPA. It means that they're just great at numbers. They don't want to be the accountant. They're just great at numbers. And then there's the second thing we talked about was, what do they do well? Some people are trained, like from my background, I was trained in corporate to do a certain thing for 20 plus years. I was trained. It's not what I want to do. It was what I was trained at. And you became great at it because I was trained at that. Do you understand what I'm saying to you? So there's a gift that I have, there's giftings that you have, and there's things you're trained at. You have to combine those two together and capitalize off of that, because now you have a skill with a gift. And that's different from just doing stuff. You got to combine these things. You know, in the kingdom of God, nothing is wasted. You have to figure out everybody has a position. I mean, you think about this. We all laugh because a person has a job as a garbage man, but just think it for a moment during Christmas time, during Thanksgiving, if no trash got picked up. Just imagine, we have an epidemic in LA where there was trash being stored, and now the people in the area have an outbreak. Just imagine, everything is important in the kingdom of God. You have to talk to people and see, some people don't want your big ideas. Some people don't want to do your fancy dreams. They just want to be the person who answers the phone and connects people to that other person. And you have to be okay with that person's position in your squad. Or if it's not okay, then you have to let the person go. You can't keep dimming their shine or keep saying that that's not good enough. You have to allow the person just to be who they are. Because when you allow people to be who they are, you get the best results of what they are. And I hope that that helps you with what you're going through, even in business. It transcends. It goes from business to personal to home life. It goes everywhere you go. And the thing is, you have to stop wanting to see people in a certain thing. That makes you feel comfortable about them. But in actuality, that's not their giftings. And I hope that you really sit and analyze this video. I hope that you sit and analyze the positions that you have put people in or that you're in. And I hope you analyze it enough to say, I'm in the wrong position or I'm in the right position. And now I'm in the right position. How do I effectively communicate what I want to do and where I want to go? Those are all important, very important things you have to have a conversation with. And so I hope, again, that you will sit down and analyze. Again, the 4 steps are, the 4 questions are, what are your gifts? What are your gifts? And number 2 is, what do you do well? Because remember, what the person's gift is and what they do well could be 2 separate things. Stop thinking that that's in a combination of it. And if they want to do what they're skilled at doing, sometimes they don't want to do that thing. And number 3 is, what are you consistently working at or working on? There's something that's occupying that space in your brain. There's something that you're doodling. There's something that you're doing consistently. You got to give it some credence. You got to show up for that thing, because that thing is pressing you and you're ignoring it. It's not going to go away. Open the door. It may be the thing that takes you to your next level. You never know until you tamper with it. And number 4 is, how do you know it's working or it's not working? Well, I can tell you. The thing that you know, the way that you know that it's working, because it's moving, even if it's in small increments, it's moving. It's doing something phenomenal. The train has left the station. The boat is in the water. Things are happening, even if it's little increments of things, but it's consistent little increments. See, when it's not working, there's like a push here and there's a, the span of time. It's arduous, it's hard, it's tiresome, it's overwhelming. You don't want to do it. You don't want to touch it. That's how you know it's not working for you. Sometime, you guys, as business people, as business owners, entrepreneurs, as women and men in business, in the kingdom of God, sometimes we have to look at all these attributes and say, I'm in the wrong position, or I haven't thought about things that way. And you have to open up. You can't be so one track that your mind will only let you go this way. You got to open up, and you got to let people know your position. I told my husband today, I said, if we're going to do anything, we're not going to be perfect, but we're going to be honest. And it's really important to be honest to who you are. Again, like I said, like Shakespeare, to thyself be true. Stop denying yourself of what you enjoy. Stop denying yourself of what you love. And stop minimizing your dreams to fit into somebody else's small box. I'm Linda. I approve this message. And as I always say at the end of everything, I'll see you at the top, you guys. Have a phenomenal day. Bye-bye.